Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my October favorites. We're covering a wide range of things. I will start off with my beauty favorites first, then move to lifestyle, and I have a book series to mention at the end of this video. So if you like favorites, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up so I know to continue to do these in the future. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Hit the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos. And let's go ahead and begin this monthly favorites. This first product honestly took me by surprise because I didn't think I would like this. And I recently just did a full review on this. If you have not seen it, I will link it above. But of course I had to mention it because it has been a favorite. It is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum Foundation. And I thought this was going to be way too sheer for me. I didn't like it the first time I tried it. When I used 2 layers of this on my skin, it really made such a huge difference for how I liked it. Wears beautifully, which normally for serum foundations for me personally, my skin eats it up and I'm left with no pigment virtually at the end of the day. This one's a long wearing one for me and it has that addition of hyaluronic acid and it's the first of its kind because it's the only tinted product like this that has a concentration of 1% hyaluronic acid, which is pretty cool. So if you want to see more of my wear test, my further thoughts on that foundation, I will link that above for you guys to go check out. But I did want to mention it here because it caught me off guard and I really wanted to give it a shout out first this month. A makeup product and company that I'm very excited for is Cheekbone Beauty, and they recently came to Sephora Canada. So this is the first Indigenous owned brand at Sephora Canada. And a bunch of you commented that this reminds you of cargo packaging, and I used to use that back in the day, blogging days. I don't know if you guys remember that HD powder that I was going on and on about. I love that powder. I'm assuming Cargo's still around. I haven't seen it in Canada though, but let me know because I'd like to revisit that HD powder if I could. Anyways, Cheekbone Beauty. Very excited to see it at Sephora. This was my first purchase from them and it is their blush and bronzer duo. I got it in the shade medium. It is such a bright and vibrant blush and the tone of the bronzer is just perfect. It's not too warm. It's just that perfect color for me, for my skin tone, and I'm so happy with this. I believe this is made in Italy. Yeah, it's made in Italy. The formulation is just so smooth. It wears beautifully on the skin, no patching, skipping, great pigmentation, easy to blend, like everything you could want in a powder. So I cannot wait to check out more from the brand, but if you have not seen that Cheekbone Beauties on Sephora Canada, definitely go check them out because they are a brand to be looking at. Then I purchased a bunch of things from Sephora that you haven't seen the haul for yet. I picked these up during the Friends and Family sale, and I also will be purchasing from the regular VIB sale that's coming up. I'll do a huge haul for you guys when everything comes in, but I have been enjoying these products, and I picked up one of the Perfectionist lip pencils from Melt Cosmetics because this shade specifically caught my eye. It is described as an olive tan and the shade name is called Sepia. And this is the most unique brown tone for me. I've never seen a color quite like it. It truly has that olive undertone, which I've never honestly seen in a lip pencil before. So that's why I picked it up. The formula is long wearing, creamy, doesn't skip, doesn't bleed. It's perfect. I love the old Melt Lip Pencil formula, so I'm very happy that I still love this new one. And then I also picked up the new Magic Touch Concealer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I picked up the shade 9. It is quite light, has good coverage. You guys mentioned how it is a little bit of a messier concealer, and I can definitely see that because of the shape of the doe foot. Because it kind of tapers out, I feel like it doesn't get the stopper enough, so it can get a little bit gunky, but I can look past that. The formula is fantastic in terms of coverage and hydration. This is one of those concealers, kind of like my Kosas one that I've been loving, that really has the coverage that I need, but also the hydration, because I've noticed often concealers are getting a little too dry underneath my eyes. And this one gives the luminosity that I like, but also that coverage. So it has worked out to be a new favorite concealer of mine. I can't honestly decide whether I like this one or Kosas right now. They're kind of rivaling each other, but my 2 most recommended concealers at the moment are definitely those. Then Morphe is available on Sephora Canada. If you didn't know, you can get Morphe at Ulta or their website. If you're in the US, they have their Sour Patch Kids collection. So I got the Continuous Mist in the Watermelon Slice smell, and I forgot how much I love the Continuous Mist from Morphe. It's next to my Charlotte Tilbury in terms of my most loved setting sprays. It's one of these standout products that Morphe makes, in my opinion. And if you like Sour Patch Kids, definitely check out that one. The smell is just to die for. And I've just loved that they collaborated with them because it's one of my favorite candies, and the products that they did collaborate with are my favorite products from Morphe. Then I also have been really loving this vitamin C from Glow Recipe. I just have the box here because it's currently in my bathroom and I've been using it daily. It is the Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum. It's for brightening and even tone. I have very sensitive skin, and especially to vitamin C's, I have to be really careful about how often I use it or which vitamin C's I use. This is one that I've been able to use more often than others. It doesn't have any sort of sensitivity issue with my skin, so I've been really happy with that. And it's one of the products from Glow Recipe that I noticed next day results too with it. The avocado ceramide one, I noticed next day results, and this one definitely changed my skin overnight. So I was missing a vitamin C, and this did a great job at brightening and evening my skin overnight. It was fantastic. So I'm very excited to have this in my rotation. It's been working really nicely with my other products that I use from Glow Recipe, and just a vitamin C that works for me. I'm very sensitive, so it's hard to find. I'm just very happy that that product works for my skin. I tested out a ton of fragrance this past month, and I have top 3 here to share with you guys, and they're from Oil Perfumery. I've never smelt their original before, but if you didn't know, Oil Perfumery does these roller balls, and they do their impression of designer or niche fragrances, and they do such a good job. The first one I want to share is from Kilian, and it's their Angel Share. I've always wanted to try the Angel Share perfume, and this smells like apple pie to me, but an elevated version. It smells incredible, and when I wear this, my kids they absolutely love how this smells. It's one of those smells that people are gonna ask you what you're wearing just because it has that beautiful edible quality to it. You just smell tasty. Then I've never tried any fragrance from Byredo before, and these two are my favorites that I've tried that are the impression of. So we have Bibliothèque and Sundays. Both of these smell incredible, and combined as well, I think these make an amazing combination. I accidentally combined these a couple days ago because I thought I brought one of them down here for this video, and it was the other one, so I applied it and then I mixed them, and then I'm like, what am I wearing? And then I realized it was these two combined. So I do like them separately, but combined it was just another level of good. So I will link the originals down below, as well as Oil Perfumery, if you want to check out the impression of. They're not the designer fragrances, but Oil Perfumery, if you've never tried, they kill it for their impressions of fragrances. I have 2 fails that are in the beauty category before we move on to my lifestyle and book. I ended up trying both of these products and trying new makeup. For the L'Oreal Longwear Brow Top Coat, it smells too strongly that it's flammable because it says so on it. It's super thin and messy, and I honestly didn't notice any difference with it for, I think this was $19.99. It's not worth it. Don't buy it. And then from CoverGirl, we have the Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I've never experienced anything so dewy. It says it has a dewy finish, but it almost looks balmy and greasy. Like how dewy it is. There's nothing on the market that I've tried that's quite like that, at least how it looked like on my skin. A bunch of you were saying it wasn't the Bare Minerals powder that I tried with this that was making everything go wonky on my face. It was this foundation. And I've noticed for myself, it's just definitely not the finish that I'm looking for. It just didn't work for my skin. I know a lot of people love it, so you can still try it, but it just didn't work for me. And then for my lifestyle or other segment, I wanted to talk about my favorite games recently, which if you didn't know, I love board games. I like video games too, but in general, I love playing games. My husband does play a couple of these games with me, but I recently discovered this one game that's good in a group. If you have other people you can play this with, it's honestly so much fun. Every time I play it, and anyone who's ever played it has the best time ever. This is the group game that I was talking about. It is Codenames Pictures, and they have a bunch of different code names, and they're with words. This one specifically is the one with pictures, which I think makes it more fun because you're trying to make your team guess a bunch of these pictures using one word. There's more to it than that, but it's really easy to understand when you first play it, and it's so much fun trying to think what the person is referring to these random pictures that are on these cards. It's just fun to see how people's brains work, honestly. So that's why it's one of my favorite games, but they have a bunch of other variations of code names if you've ever played, but specifically the pictures one is the one I recommend. And then I have 2 games that I play all the time with my husband. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm always snapping pictures of our games we're playing. And one of the games is Skippo. Can play this with my kids too, but me and my husband have this ongoing battle against each other where he's really good at this game. I don't understand because I feel like it's partially luck mixed with skill, but a lot of luck with the cards that you're dealt. And we play similarly, but he often wins, and I won't stop playing until I win a game. I'm a very competitive person. I'm a good loser, I'm a good winner, but I'm very competitive, if you didn't know. So that is one of my favorite games. We have a kid version of that, but Alex plays Skippo with me all the time. And then also I wanted to mention Sequence, which is the last game that I'm going to mention. And this you can play with your kids too. It's easy enough. You have to make a line of 5 cards, match your cards, and get 2 lines. It's kind of like Connect 4 with cards, but you have strategy and have a whole board that you have to work with where you can block your opponent. You want to create your own 2 lines to win the game. There's some wild cards in it, which makes it kind of spicy. So those are my favorite games, and I will link them down below for you guys, but definitely ones that I personally play all the time and think are really fun, that I constantly go back to, that just are a good time. Then the last thing I have here to share with you is my book recommendation. I haven't read all these yet because the book that I got from the library sent me off to buy the whole set. I initially got A Court of Thorns and Roses from the library, and then I put myself on the wait list for the other books. Can I get it out to show you? We'll just show you this. So I initially got that book, started reading it, fell in love with the story. I wasn't sure how much I'd like it, honestly, because it is a fantasy book, and when you say fantasy, to me, it's not something that I really gravitate towards. It's about fairies that has some magical elements in it. It's a romance, but it has a lot of action, honestly, and it sucked me in. So I am hooked now. I couldn't wait for the other books in the series to come in stock at my library, so I ended up purchasing the whole set on Amazon. It was a good enough price there. It was actually on sale at the time for, I think, like 28% off. So that's why I ended up buying the whole set there. I'm just excited to get into these books. It's nice to have a series that I'm really into right now. So that is what I'm going to be doing every night until I'm done these, is reading these books. I'm just so excited. It's such a good series, and I've only read the first book, and I hear it only gets better. If you've not checked out A Court of Thorns and Roses, the series, or the author for that matter, there's a bunch of books from her that I've wanted to read that I've been recommended before, and now I'm gonna have to go back and find all those series that I need to read from her. That is everything for my October favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, maybe found some things to check out, some games, some books, some makeup, beauty, all that kind of stuff, fragrance, you know, I cover it all in these videos, and these have just been my favorites, go-tos for this month. Thank you for spending some time with me today. If you have not subscribed already, I would love for you to join my YouTube family here by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.